This painting project was inspired by an item on my bucket list, and that's to visit Germany at Christmas time. More on that later. For now, let me give you an idea of how this video is going to go. I've tried to include a look at each step in the process, from tracing my original sketch onto watercolor paper to the final detailing and untaping, which is why it's as long as it is. It's also why I'll include timestamps in the description for things like starting points for tracing, painting, detailing, and the final glamour shots. The device I use for tracing is an LED light pad. This isn't the first time I've included footage of this step, but it's probably the most thorough at showing the process I go through. There will be links in the description to a couple of INCWorks videos that have featured this item. My original sketch was done on a sheet of 90-pound paper. Once that was finished, I taped it to a sheet of 140-pound Arches cold press watercolor paper. Once the pad was plugged into a USB charging port, I turned it on and turned all other lights off. Then I traced using a Sakura Pigma Micron. Usually I trace with a pencil, but I wanted to save a step since I knew I was going to add line work later anyway. I don't always do a pre-drawing. Sometimes I'll just draw directly onto watercolor paper, but with this piece I really needed to work out the design and placement of each element. I thought it would be appropriate to use the set of German-made Schminke watercolors that I swatched in the previous video. I was torn because the assortment isn't your basic yellows, reds, and blues. In fact, the closest thing to a red here is Potter's Pink. But I figured, why not? A little challenge won't hurt. Plus, I can get familiar with these paints. So this is Schminke's Trial Set 2. I made a quick color swatch as a visual aid, and boy, it made me wonder if I should rethink the plan and just go with my main palette. Because in no way did that match my idea of Christmas in Germany. So after a thorough wetting down using a number 4 Neptune quill, I laid down some colors, and at this point you might be getting worried. But once I finished with the background, it was actually looking pretty good. And then when I got the map portion painted with the green, I was feeling really good about things. From then on, the arting anxiety decreased. By the time I got a really nice color onto the Lebkuchen, there weren't any more worries. I wasn't exactly chill. There was still plenty of work to do, but I was confident. And that's thanks to the pre-planning and having a complete design to work with, yes, but also to the quality of these paints. It's early still, but as things progress, I hope you can see how well the colors lay on paper and on top of each other, as well as the lovely mixes involved. By the way, the colors in this set are Turner's Yellow, Quinacridone Gold Hue, Potter's Pink, Cobalt Violet Hue, French Ultramarine, and Paraline Green. I've never been on a week-long coach tour, but I imagine it being sort of like going on a field trip for 7 days straight. I assume there's some sort of person in charge whose job it is to rustle everybody up in the morning for strudel and coffee at the group hotel, and hold a quick confab regarding the activities of the day. Then you board the bus that drops you off at various historical sites where local know-it-alls share the dirt about Kaiser so-and-so and his crazy relatives. Then you're let loose to find lunch on your own in a lace curtain cafe where the specialty of the day is a pork knuckle that you have no clue how to tackle. Then it's back on the bus to hit the most tourist-packed Christmas market in the city. All the while, fellow traveler Gerald sticks to you like glue while complaining that everything has gone downhill since the last time he was in the country. Then it's on to your lodging for the night, where you manage to shake off gloomy Jerry and enjoy a dinner of schnitzel und spätzle before stumbling to your room, slightly tipsy from a tad too much schnapps. Frankly, it sounds exhausting. I wouldn't last a day. This is the second time I've dipped a toe into imaginary travels. That's right, about 9 months ago, I did a piece called Mermaid Cove. I had just started INCWorks, and there were challenges and nerves in equal parts. I don't remember who it was, but I once watched a video where the artist claimed, "It's not you, it's your paper." Well, at the time, it made me laugh because it sounded like a real handy excuse. But while making those first couple of videos, I was using some paper I had stored away a couple of decades earlier, and after pulling it out to work on, was having some unexpected results. And I realized, oh my gosh, she's right. Which is a roundabout way of saying, I really like this Arches cold press. I took 3 years of high school German language classes, and producer Mike has German heritage. So, of course, we'd both love to visit sometime. But the thing that appeals most to me is either a guided coach tour or a river cruise down the Rhine to hit some of their lovely Christmas markets. I mean, have you seen the videos? Pretzels, marzipan, Lebkuchen, Glühwein, and best of all, sausages everywhere. Okay, so maybe the thing that most appeals is actually the food. And of course, Disneyland Paris is just a 4-hour train ride away. What? I've done my research. Speaking of German food, funnily enough, it's me who insists on having German meats, breads, and sweets for the holidays. Probably because it's not a part of my heritage, so there's the novelty factor. Whereas it's old hat for him. So while he's complaining about having to eat Leberkäse again, I'm snarfing down the pretzels and Bienenstich. Okay, that's not entirely true. For one thing, producer Mike never complains about eating Leberkäse. And for another, he keeps tight control over the Bienenstich. In other words, he stashes it in a secret spot, only doling it out in small portions at a time. And I don't know if that's a reflection on him or me. For those who don't know, Bienenstich, also known as bee sting cake, is a layered dessert with honey, almonds, yeasty cake, and a creamy filling. I mean, is it any wonder people would hide it? There were places where I used the colors straight, but there were also plenty of mixed colors used. I really like the color I got for the Lebkuchen, that brownish color, very gingerbready, I think. And of course, the background. So pleased with the background. Once that was down, it just made me feel good and positive during the painting portion. I don't remember which colors made up the dark brownish gray that I used to add those dimensional shadowy outlines. I'm just pleased with how it turned out. Here I am in my pajama pants and holiday print fleece hoodie, analyzing this artwork like, but what does it mean? Look, I've been wearing the same house slippers for so long that I balk at switching them out for real shoes on those rare trips to the store. And that was before COVID. I've got to say, I'm very pleased with how these Schminke paints performed. I almost didn't want to stop painting. To be honest, I'd been underwhelmed with the initial swatching from the other day. But working with them on an actual painting, I really enjoyed their subtlety or delicacy, as one experienced viewer described it in the comments of that swatching video. In fact, there were several comments there that were very helpful in regards to Schminke's characteristics. So thank you, viewers. I do want to answer a question that was brought up, and that was, are they worth the money? And I have two answers. One, in my opinion, this and even a number of other brands are overpriced here in the US, and I know there are reasons such as availability and importing. So in the cases of $200 for a set of 24 half pans, no, it's not worth that kind of money to me. Answer number two, this set I have, 6 5 ml tubes, cost me $35. I see that as much more appropriate pricing. And considering the quality and how much I enjoyed using them in this one painting alone, I'd even say that's a good deal. So the short answer is both no and yes, which is the sort of answer that would make me want to slap somebody. I'm happy to share this very personal piece, and I hope you got a kick out of it. We may not be there in reality, but I can practically hear the Oompa band, smell the sauerbraten, and feel the ache of walking over cobblestone streets in inappropriate footwear. Thanks for joining in this session. In case I don't catch you again this week, I'm sending best wishes and wellness vibes to you, and I hope you have a happy holiday. Until next time, stay artsy, my friends.